Okay, as you can see, we're having technical difficulties. Hello, everybody. Hey, this is a wonderful evening, and welcome to the Love Rhythm Recipe. My name is Casey. I am your host. I am your master chef. I am your navigator through this thing we call food and love. So, tonight, and I didn't get my music like I like to bring it in. Okay. However, tonight we are going to be doing some dessert, something that I don't do quite often. However, I was able to come up with something that my mom used to make that I never tried, but as an adult, hey, you do things. So, my mom used to make these southern fried apple pies. She make these little pies and she fry them up or whatever. I've come up with a whole different dynamic, a whole different twist that's really elegant looking. It's easy to do. I got a hack. You're going to love it. That's number one. And we're going to be embarking on a very, very sensitive subject tonight. Loving a self-destructive partner who's in denial. Go figure. So, how does these things parallel? Well, the parallels between this pie, because we always try to have a parallel with the food and with the subject matter. Southern style fried apple pies, crafting them with a twist, and loving a self-destructive partner who's in denial can offer some pretty insightful perspectives. So, first of all, hey, you got to recognize the core issue for both. When you're frying these apple pies, you need to understand the fundamental components. So what makes a fried apple pie? Such as the quality of the apples. It's important. You just don't get any kind of apple when you're doing apple pie. The best apples to use are Honeycrisp. I'll say it again, Honeycrisp. The reason why they are not overly sweet, they're very mild, but the integrity of them, they hold their integrity when you are baking. So you have a softness, but you still have the apple in whole. So a lot of times you'll use certain apples and the apples will kind of get mushy, and for me, I want to have a little bit of integrity or formation to my apple. So those are the best apples to use. Okay. And the dough, of course. So when you're doing a pie, you use a basic dough. You're going to make a pastry dough, which is going to be based with eggs. You're going to have your flour, a little bit of salt. You're going to have some water. Sometimes people use milk. Sometimes people use butter if they're doing flaky. However, I made it easy for you because you know what? I cannot stand, and I do like, fresh pastry or whatever. But I said to myself, self, what can I do to make this easy for me and you and to make it beautiful too? So did that rhyme? Yes, it did. So the dough is important and the taste of the dough is essential to introducing the twist that I have. And it's a twist and a hack combined. It's two things that I'll be telling you about. With the self-destructive partner, identifying the root causes of why they are being self-destructive in the first place, the type of behaviors. Knowing that is very crucial, and attempting to offer support is a thing to, kind of help for a solution. So, introducing positive changes. The fried apple pie, it's adding a unique ingredient, and I do have an ingredient that most people probably won't use to their apple pies, but it takes it up a level, okay? It brings new life to the dessert. For a self-destructive partner, you want to encourage them to have more healthier habits, not to be so self-degrading, and kind of get them on a lighter side, so hoping that by bringing positivity to their lives and giving them healthier alternatives and helping them make healthier habits is going to change the dynamic of the mechanisms that are causing them to be harmful to themselves in the first place. Patience and timing. So, hey, you got to have some patience when you're cooking anything, any kind of baking. I'm frying, so I have to be very mindful not to have my heat too high or not have it high enough so my little pies don't get soaked in oil, but they get nice and fluffy and puffy and are delicious. Okay, same thing for a self-destructive partner. You got to support the partner through the highs and the lows, the changes that they go through, because hey, they may not be successful right out the gate, of trying to make these changes, but perfect timing is key. You got to balance the support and the independence. So with the fried apple pies, with the proper ingredients and the proper weighting and the proper timing, you get the results that you need. And the same difference if you have a partner that is, self-sabotaging or self-destructive. Now, that's not foolproof, because the key of this is that person has to be willing. They have to come out of the state of denial and be willing to put in place things that are going to get them to a place of health and happiness, and really getting your relationship back together, because it can be very damaging to a relationship. It's inevitable, but that doesn't mean it has to be the end or it has to be over. So we're going to dive into that. But I'm going to dive into, because hey, my mixologist, we do still have a little drink, even though this is a wonderful dessert. So my mixologist decided to make something nice and milky for us. And it is sugar-free. I know it looks like, what does it look like? Pina colada, right? Yeah. If you like pina colada, but it's not. We do mocktails here. And because I made this pie, and the twist that I have makes it a lot healthier. I wasn't trying to do that. It just got kind of turned out that way. So, hey, a win-win for everything. What are we calling this, Corey?
To be honest with you, I was just going to stick with mocktail pina colada.
He says, this is good. He says that he's sticking. You tell him.
As I said, it's just a mocktail pina colada.
Oh, it is good. It's a mocktail pina colada.
Or
virgin pina colada. Okay. It is very good. Hey, everybody. Hey, my sister. Hey, Miss Debbie. How are you? And perfectly neat. And who else do we have here? I have my husband in the house and Cosmic King. So tell them what is in this, Corey, because usually pina coladas are very high, very sweet and high caloric. So let them know what's in it.
Well, I did add some coconut milk.
You gotta project.
Oh, my apologies. Coconut milk. I added the crushed pineapples that we had with just added a little bit of Splenda and ice, and boom, that was it.
Okay. The coconut milk, but it wasn't just any coconut milk, because it wasn't like the sweet coconut milk that is very full of sugar.
Right, unsweetened, right?
Yes, I believe it was the unsweetened one.
Yes, so he used unsweetened coconut milk. Very, very good. It does, and I'm not really big on coconut milk. I really don't care for it too tough, but this is good. Not sugary. He used Splenda for the sweetener. The only things that would have like a natural sweetness, and like the pineapples were in their own juice. Right. So it's just a fruit. So definitely a lower dynamic than you would normally have when you do a pina colada. And for those of you who want to add that base of alcohol, do you. But this will be a whole lot better for you. Yes, it will. Oh, and he put some blackberries in there, but they decided to do a deep dive. So you see them on the bottom. But I like that.
Very tasty.
So I took the liberty, guys, of starting to make up some of these pies. The vast majority of them. I'm going to make one so you can see, and then we're going to fry them up. But I want to show you guys, and it's not a lot. It really isn't. It is not a lot. I decided, instead of having to go through, I was looking for the pastry that you would use to make raviolis. That's where this all started. I wanted to make some ravioli for you guys. Okay, homemade ravioli. I did not want to have to make the dough, so they sell dough for everything. So I figured I could get some ravioli dough. Ravioli dough, the difference between that, they have the lasagna sheets that are not or dried, but lasagna sheets are not as pliable as ravioli dough because ravioli dough has more egg content. And so that is the thing that differs it. I looked on those pot sticker wrappers and they said you can use it ravioli, but it's still going to have a different consistency. It's going to have that shiny pot stickery type thing. You can tell ravioli, the texture is that of pasta. It's just lighter. So that wouldn't do. So I had to find something that would take the place. So I was scouring my Instacart and reading ingredients, and I found that egg roll wrappers are very similar to the dough that they use for ravioli. It has a lot of egg content in it. So then I just had to find the kind that was going to be most pliable because you need it to be soft. It needs to get room temperature. It needs to be soft enough so when you manipulate it, it's not going to crack because whatever you put inside that ravioli pocket, you want it to stay in there. So that was a challenge. But if you recall, well, no, you probably don't because that was the other show. That was the daytime show. I made pot stickers and we had vegan wrappers. We just got them by chance. They had vegan, the same brand of the wrappers in the what do you call it, egg rolls. What was the brand of that?
I thought it was not soya.
It's called Nat Soya. Okay, if you have that. And if not, like I said, just look for vegan wrappers because they probably will be a lot more pliable. And the thickness of it was really good too. So make a long story short, I used the vegan egg roll wrappers as my dough. I got this little, and here it is right here. I'm going to show you. I bought this little thing. It was about $15. This is a ravioli cutter. Now, this is the basic one hand, not the fancy. They have fancy ones, and I think I got it upside down. There you go. So you're like, hey, what do you do with this? But this is the result you get with these. You see these ravioli here? And the thing about ravioli is it doesn't have to have spaghetti sauce. You can put anything in a ravioli. You can have blueberry raviolis. You can have seafood raviolis. You could have pulled pork raviolis. You can have whatever you want to put in that ravioli and stuff it with, you can make it. And it's just so cute. So I said, let's not us put meat in this. I had these apples in here that these kids didn't eat. I did not want them to go to waste. I didn't want to make a bread pudding because that's really high caloric. So I said, let me try to stuff them with this. So I'm going to show you how to use this. This cost me about $12. And you probably can get it cheaper for that. Like I said, it's not, any motorized or anything, computerized anything. It's just hand. And if you get the right dough, I realized that with the right dough, it's easy peasy. So you get 12 of them. Like I said, with the dough that I have, it doesn't cover all of it. So you have to do like 4 and 4 at a time. But it was pretty quick. So let me show you guys. Or if you don't want to get fancy with the little ruffly things around it, put it together, cut squares. Okay. But this really helps because you get the pocket. You can pretty much do it in hand. But why do all that? $12. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that you're just going to use that for ravioli. You be creative. Okay. So now I have you got all kinds of technical things going here. I'm going to drink this, and then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to show you guys. Let me turn this, see if you can see. Okay, bring it a little closer. Closer. It's not hard at all. So I'm bringing this over here. So this is what it looks like up close and personal. This is the press, and you will, spray a little cooking spray on it. This, you say, what is this? We put eggs in here? No. You take your dough, you put your dough, if you have a whole sheet, you put the whole sheet here. You can make 12 at one time. You put the dough here on there, and then you take this and you press it. The whole purpose of the exercise, do you see these ridges? These ridges, you want to press it so it'll have those ridges, and it'll kind of cut itself out. It's like a cookie cutter. Very easy. So what I did, I left one out because I made all of them ahead of time. But before I do that, I'm going to show you what I did with the apples. So I had some left, a lot left. And so I'll be making some more later. But, I ain't going to do all that now. I made some last night. I thought I was going to have some left over. Well, we won't tell you what happened to them. Okay. I'm just saying.
Wait.
Okay. So these apples here. So if you can see these, no, they're not brown from the air. They just have cinnamon and nutmeg and good stuff. So what I did, I took my Honeycrisp apples, I peeled them, and I chopped them finely because remember, they got to go in those little holes. I took them, I had three apples. So I took 3 apples and I cut them up, and it was a plate full of stuff here. This is what's left. So you probably don't have to use that much, but you know what? Even if you make this like this and you have some left over, you're going to nuke it. Hey, you can put it in on your oatmeal if you have some left over. You know what I'm saying? And they're done. Keep them from turning colors. The nuking is important. So, like I said, I seasoned them with some fresh cinnamon, nutmeg. So for the 3 apples, I used a tablespoon of cinnamon. I used a teaspoon of nutmeg. I use lemon extract. That's the secret to making this apple taste real. It heightens the flavor. I use a capful of lemon extract in these apples, and then I use Splenda. Okay, but you can use the sweetener of your choice. If you use regular sugar, about a teaspoonful and a half for those 3 apples. But I used the Splenda Zero. So this is what is making it, even though this is fruit, the natural fructose is here. However, this is going to take it down several notches. And then it's such a small amount that you're putting in the ravioli, which is why I did the ravioli. So you can do this and still get what you want. So once you mix that all up, you pop it on a plate, something microwavable. I use this paper plate. Lay it flat like that. Stick it in your microwave for 1 minute. It cooks your apples, but it cooks your apples where they don't have a whole lot of liquid. The apples still have texture to them because remember you're going to fry them. I wanted to cook them a little. That way I can flash fry them. I can leave the integrity of my dough so it doesn't get overcooked. It gets fluffy and crunchy, and these tasty apples are inside in every bite. Simple, easy peasy. Okay, so let me go back over here, and I'm going to show you the dough and how you do it. It's not hard at all, trust me. So you have a rolling pin. Rolling pins, you can get these. I had this thing so long, I don't even know how much I paid for it. But I know everything like this is in the dollar store. And they even have ones that are made out of plastic that are half the size. This is the old-fashioned one, you beat somebody upside the head with. This one. So I took it, and you want to make sure that your sheets are room temperature. It's very important because you want them pliable. So this is what I have a couple left because I used all the other ones. Okay, so this is pretty much what it looks like. And they usually come thinner than this. So this is two of them together. So I left 2 so it could have the thickness that I want. But you see the sheet, very, very pliable, very nice. Looks like just like any dough rolled out. You take that and you put it on your little grid here. So then I'll show you that. So I'm going to put it over the first 4, and I'm going to press it down just like that. Press it on here so it can kind of get the imprint on the bottom. But I'm not done yet. So this is what you got. You see the little imprint? Well, you probably don't see the imprint, but you're going to see the imprint. You want to make sure that it can stand up just like this. Now you can see it. You see what I'm saying? So you want to be able to see those windows. Now you're going to take this little thing that looks like it's your wholesome eggs, right? And you're going to turn it cup side down. Put it over that piece of pastry that's in those holes, and you fit it there. So you just stick it here, just like that, and it'll fit in, and you press. You press it as hard as you can because you want to have little pockets to put this in. So it's going to look like this, guys. Okay, so you see, I've pressed it. These will now be here. You see that? Yeah. That's your dough. That's going to be your pocket that you fill. You don't want to overfill your pocket. You want to just get it just right. Okay, so that's why you want the things that you put in it to be kind of dry and not wet. It doesn't have to be very dry, but I mean, it can have a little bit of moisture, but you want it to be kind of dry. Okay, so now I'm at this point. So I got my pockets. They're ready to be filled. So I take it, make sure my pockets are secure. I have a little plastic teaspoon, so about a teaspoonful I'll take of this. Not a heaping, just a little teaspoonful, and I'll fill those pockets. So I'm going to fill my pockets. I don't want to overfill them. I'm just going to put just enough in here so I know that I have apple. Just like that. Put it in. Put it in. Okay. And put that in. And a little bit more. So I'm going to have quite a bit of apple. And this is just 3 apples. So it doesn't take a whole lot of apples in order to make these. Okay, so I'm just get a little bit more. Now this is going to be the kicker. What I find is with this particular dough, you want to be mindful to, let me just rinse my finger off. You want to be mindful that when you put this top layer on top, that you make sure all the air pockets are out. Otherwise, it just starts to rise, I guess. Now, you want to know how you get it to stick. You do a little egg wash. So this is 2 eggs I have. It was probably way too much, but no, I'm going to make some more later. You take 2 eggs, you beat them really well so everything is combined. So the white and the yolk are fully beat. And then you take a tablespoonful of water and you mix it in it. So you're going to have this consistency. It won't be so thick and it won't dry out. Get yourself a pastry brush, but if you don't have that, you can use your finger really. I just don't want to use my finger because you know me. And the pastry brush works really well. What I do suggest is they tell you to go around the edges, but you're going to have edges that are overlapping. So I do the whole top layer and I brush it with the egg wash. The taste does not differ. Actually, it enhances it because what? The dough is made with eggs, right? Okay, so I take it. Let me put this over here. I'm going to take this little last piece I got here, and hopefully it will work because it kind of split in 2. I told you I have 2 together. So I'm going to lay it down. Let me get this over here. I have a piece of parchment paper, and I'm going to put this on the parchment paper, y'all. I'm going to lay it flat, and then I'm going to paint the whole square. Okay, this square right here that's going to go on top, I'm going to paint the entire square face up with my egg wash. Okay, so I'm going to take it, I'm going to paint it, and that's because I want it to be saturated. I don't want it to be soggy, but I need it to be fully saturated because I find when I do this, instead of go around the edges, I don't have to worry about it, I guess, and we haven't tried them yet, but when I did them yesterday, I did around the edges, and I ended up having to put water around the edges before I stuck some of them in. They weren't as beautiful and perfect as the ones I'm going to show you. So then you take it, you pick it up. It is fully coated. Let me show you guys. So you see the shiny part is fully coated. I really can't. It's fully coated. Take my word for it on that side. And you just take it and you meet the edges together. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to cover the top. Now, this is where you got to make sure that you get the air pockets out where the circles are. So instead of just closing it up like that, you want to try to smooth it. You want to smooth it over the top because in the middle, you'll see it puckling where the circles are. So you want to press it down and make sure your corners, if the edges of the pastry are closing with your egg wash. And you just close it down over this little grid here. And you're going to have that same imprint that I just showed you. Okay, so now, once you get all the air pockets out, and that's what you want to do, make sure all the air pockets out, because when you get to rolling it, you don't want it to come up and you don't want it to puckle. So I'm going to take it, so I have it like this. So Now I have my top and I have my bottom. Now I'm going to roll it with the rolling pin. The reason why you do that, you apply pressure and it will cut out the pieces. And I'm going to show you. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to turn it this direction. I'm going to take my rolling pin and I'm going to apply pressure from the top of it. And I'm just going to slowly roll over and go back and forth, back and forth. And what is happening is those ridges are cutting through the pastry. And when it's completely cut through, then I'll be able to peel off the vast majority of this pastry, and I'll be able to pop these out. Now, just because I told you this, you know that won't work, right? But I just did it 4 or 5 times. So I'm going to do it. And you just want to kind of roll it back and forth gently until you see the metal in the areas where it looks like it's crinkly or ruffled. And then you turn it the opposite direction because this is a square. And then you go down the middle of it and you do the same thing. Now you may want to take like the edge of your rolling pin. If you have a shorter one, you don't have to do that. But I take the edge so I can make sure I can cut through that line in the middle of the square so I can see the metal. And just be careful because, you know, it'll slide away from you sometime. That's what it's doing to me. I usually have beautiful assistant over here holding it. But I figured, hey, I'm going to handle this myself. So, and like I said, you just apply the pressure. Don't apply too much. You'll see it coming away from the actual grid. And be careful because you don't want to hurt your finger like I did. Okay, so let me get this around here. And then I will show you what I mean about how it'll just come away. It's not, I said, this is really not hard. It's not hard at all. And I'll just do that. Just like this. All right, so I'm almost there. Now, I'm going to show you. You see how easy this is just coming away? You see that?
Yeah.
Y'all see that? You see how that just came away? Let me stick this in that little bucket I have in the sink. Now, I'm going to make sure that everything is in the middle is the same way. Because when I get ready to punch these out in the bottom, I want to make sure they come apart. Now, sometimes you may have an issue, a little issue. It may not come apart like you want. So you try to get it as good as you can. Because you want to have the decorative part too. But you can just run a little sharp knife down the line and it'll help it separate. But if it's done right and if your pastry is soft enough and stuck together well, and you grease this with some cooking spray, you shouldn't have a big problem with it. So now this is what you got. You see? So they're all separate. I'm going to turn this upside down and I'm just going to lightly poke them out. So let's see how we do. Okay, let me get this over here. I'll put this over here. Let me throw this away. And I'm going to take the ones out that I already did. I put them in my oven, not to cook them, but because it's a little chilly in my kitchen. And you want them to stay as close to room temperature as possible so they don't dry out. Because they will. Okay, so let's see what I got. Let's see if I can get this out. Okay, so these are pretty full. So what I do is just kind of little poke it. Just like that. Just push them out. Push them out. Push it out. And push it out. And there you have it. Let me get this in here. I'm going to show you what I'm working with. And you will see all around. You see what I got here? How perfect is that? Do you see every edge is closed? I didn't have this dynamic yesterday. Okay, so it took getting the right dough. Okay, totally honest, getting the right dough. So I am looking here and I am thinking, hold on for a second, because I see a smudge. Give me a minute. I don't know why anyone didn't tell me this. I looked like I saw a smudge on my camera. So I'm going to clean it. Okay, no, but I'm cleaning the smudge. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Because that smudge is dry. Oh, there it go. See, there you go. I had a smudge on my face and y'all going to let me sit up here with cake on my face? Oh, my goodness. Okay. I know y'all didn't want to see me. That's what it was. Anyway, so how beautiful is this? So this is what you have. This is the result. So we're going to take it and put it over here with his cousins who have been in my oven for about 15 minutes because it didn't take me that long to do these. I thought it was going to take longer. Put these over here. Let me get them all on some parchment paper. I have them on the parchment paper. This way they will not stick to the pan. I wouldn't, leave them on the foil because they could stick, as they sit. So when you do the parchment paper, I didn't use it a lot. I think recently, about the last year, I've been using a lot of parchment paper, which I really didn't use before. I roughed it. But why rough it? This stuff is not expensive. You get the store brand. It lasts. For me, I use a lot of it because I use it for a lot of the baking. Like if I bake some French fries or if I bake some chicken strips or whatever, comes out perfect every time. You don't have to worry about it being more done on one side. It's just really good. So I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to dump this, clean up a little, and then we're going to have a little talk before I fry these up. How about that? Okay, we're going to keep this here because I'm going to fry up some more of these in a bit. Pour that water out. Just want to tidy up a bit. Okay. Get that in the trash. And wipe off my counter. Okay. Get that. Any flour residuals that are off here, get that off. And I think I'm going to take this out of here and I'll just stick this in the fridge until I'm ready to do it. Because it has the water in it, and that's a good thing. Having the water in it, if I didn't have the water in it, what would occur is the egg yolk would start getting dry and stiff. And then I wouldn't be able to use it. Okay, so I got my little things over here, and that's just the cinnamon and nutmeg and stuff I told you about. So let me put a little piece of foil on top of here. Or, I'm going to take one of these sandwich bags, and if it'll fit, I'm going to stick it on here. And it don't want to fit. It's not fitting. That didn't fit. Okay, well, that was a nice try. So I won't do that. I'll put a piece of foil on it, okay? Cannot put a square peg in a round hole. All right, I'll just put a little bit because, like I said, it won't be in my refrigerator. Not even another hour. Okay, so I'm going to stick this in here. That way we keep all of the little amoeba sites that may grow from things sitting out too long.
Deborah asked, can these be cooked in an air fryer?
Yeah, I guess you could. You probably could cook it in the air fryer. Just let it, you spray. Yeah, spray your air fryer. You just want to monitor your time because, like I said, it doesn't take but a flash. It really doesn't. It doesn't take but a flash. It really doesn't. So let me get that. I'm going to get a little sip here. A cup of tea, a cookie, and you. All right. I know you're like, what is she talking about? I've been watching Looney Tunes, the cartoon. So, okay. So, in any case, this is the finished product. These are so cute. How cute are these? You couldn't tell that this didn't come from a manufacturer already done or a professional restaurant. And guess what? You did it. So we're going to stick this over here. I am going to matter of fact, I'm going to stick it back in my oven because I just want to start my little talk because I think this is a very interesting subject. And I'm going to heat up my skillet while I do that. So let me get this over here. I put my little screen on. I'm going to turn this down really low and heat it slow. That way I can say a couple of words. Okay, so I'm going to put this on, baby, low. We're going to put it on low. Okay, and I'm going to talk real fast. How about that? But anyway, and you know what? I don't think it was a smudge. It's the glare from that light. Okay, so like I was saying, loving a self-destructive partner. Okay, when you love, you love. In the famous words of my friend Deborah Huckabee, love does what it does. So it is what it is, she always says. Okay. But loving someone who is on a self-destructive path, it's going to affect you. It really is. You can tell yourself that it's not, but it will at some point. It all depends on the dynamics you want to drive and how you handle it. So it's a pretty tough spot, especially when the person's in denial. They won't admit that they are being self-destructive. They're harming themselves in some way. And there's so many ways of being self-destructive. Hey, you can have an illness, not take your medication, because you're in denial. You can, have a substance abuse problem and, you're self-medicating and you're in denial. Okay. You think you're functional, but the world around you knows that you're not, and you're in denial. And everybody who cares about you is being affected. Okay. So really what you need to do with them, you need to keep it real. You need to let them know how much you care about them and their well-being. That's the first thing. Now you say, hey, I've done all of that. I keep saying how much I care and I don't want anything to happen to you. And sometimes it's just like it's going in one ear out the other because they're so deep in that denial. They're so deep in whatever the self-destructive behavior is. So you're like, yeah, whatever. But that's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than everything. You have to listen. Sometimes the person just needs you to hear what the issue is. This is if you have a person who is communicative. Okay. If you have a person who packs it all in, who doesn't have good communication skills, that's going to be another challenge. Okay. But if you sometimes if you just listen and see what the issue is, maybe you can do something to help them cope. I didn't say do something to fix it for them, but the whole key is to help them cope with whatever it is. Because a lot of times people who have these issues, they don't have good coping skills. So it comes out in different forms that tend to be negative to themselves and to others. Okay. You got to set boundaries. And that's the hard thing. When you love somebody or you're in love with somebody, your partner, you're deeply in love with them, you don't want to see them hurt. You don't want to make them feel bad. You don't want to restrict yourself or things from them. But in reality, you got to draw some lines, because if you don't draw lines, they're going to keep crossing it, and they're going to keep crossing it. And you almost feel as though you have to constantly prove your love to somebody who is not really loving themselves and truly is not loving you, because they can't love themselves. It's not that they don't care about you. There's a part someplace back there that they feeling you. They know what they're doing. They can't stop themselves or whatever they're doing. But whatever the destructive part of it, whatever it is that they are being destructive or their destructive dynamic or apparatus or whatever they use to self-destroy becomes bigger than that. It is a draw. It's an obsession. And they just go down this rabbit hole. So you have to be able to be strong enough, not to fall into that trap. And it's not easy. It is not easy. You don't care about somebody, yeah, you can just flick them off. But if you care about them, it's very, very difficult, especially because you can see things that they can't see. Okay, encourage them to get some professional help. Now I know a lot of people don't believe in going to psychiatric help or counselors or your pastor, or doggone it, talk to a friend. But the thing is, you got to open up, and whatever your pain point is or whatever is inside of you that is disturbing you to the point that you're doing things that you intellectually know is detrimental to you and affecting your relationship or relationships, you can't handle it. You don't know how to fix it. It's bigger than you. Like you have people who, for instance, like people with ADD or ADHD, they don't like messy things, but it's like when they see one thing, it's a mess. And then it's something, and it just, they look at it and they start imagining it just growing exponentially. And so they get overwhelmed and they don't know where to start. Not really knowing if you just start at the beginning. Procrastination is a murderer. Okay, it really is, because the longer you wait, the longer it's going to be. That's the bottom line. So you have to start, and it sounds crazy, start at the beginning, but you do have to start at the beginning. Everything starts at the beginning, and then you incrementally work yourself to where you need to be. And I'm gonna tell you, once you accomplish one thing, that hurdle, it gets easier as you make the other hurdles. Okay. Sometimes you may get a detour, but you got to keep your eyes on the prize. People don't have A lot of people don't have that capability. I am telling you, learning how to self-soothe when you're a child, learning how to cope with adversity in a way that is not negative or wallowing in it is very, very hard for a lot of people. This is not a skill that we are taught. So either we are taught, hey, act like it don't happen. We get the ostrich syndrome, or we act out in negative ways. Nobody sits and says, okay, just say how you feel. It's okay if you say how you feel. It's all about how you say it. You know what I'm saying? You can say anything really to me. And as long as you come at me the right way, I'm not going to trip. You know what I'm saying? But some people, passive aggressiveness, don't like conflict, is so many reasons. And a lot of it stems from our childhoods and the way that we were raised and the things that we saw or didn't see or whatever the case may be. And that's a fact. Because as I look back throughout my life, I can see things that have manifested themselves in myself as an adult that were directly, I say, triggered by some of the things that I've experienced in my life, positive and negative. You know what I'm saying? I see my parents in me now. Back then, you couldn't have told me nothing. Okay, like, oh heck no. Okay, they square. They ain't cool. I ain't trying to be like them. But children learn what they live. So you want to encourage professional help, but again, when the person's in denial, I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't need no help. I can take care of this myself. Or ain't nothing wrong with me. You got the problem. Oh, you get a lot about you got the problem because you're bringing it to their attention. And if you're the one who is always the Jiminy Cricket on their shoulder saying something, because I'm going to tell you something for all of us out there who are being self-destructive, and you have a entourage, a groupie group that hangs with you and helps you wallow in the pit of iniquity, they ain't your friend. Okay? Because misery loves company. So people will look at you a lot of times and envy you and try to get you to put yourself in a position where they don't have to step up to where you are. They're going to bring you down to them. And you're thinking, okay, this is great. This is comfortable because they're not telling me I don't need to do this. I need to be better. I need to straighten up and fly right. I need to take my medicine and live. I need to do what I need to do so I can make sure my family is secure and they still care about me. They ain't gonna tell you nothing. Because if you really look at their lives, they ain't got nothing. And why would they want you to have it? See, a real friend is going to say to you, even if I am the worst shape ever, if I'm your friend and I care about you, I'm going to say, hey, that ain't the way to go. You don't want to do that. You don't want to end up like me. You see what I'm saying? That's a friend. A friend ain't somebody that'll sit up there and light it up for you or pour it on for you or say, hey, do this, stay out all night. Or, hey, no, don't call your mate. They're not going to tell you that. So you need to start thinking about the company you keep. Because the people that are keeping you in with their thumb on your neck, and you in the sorrow that you are actually in now and don't have to be. If you surround yourself by positivity and you negate the negativity, it's going to start changing your thought pattern and the dynamics in which you live. If you put yourself in the gutter, that's where you're going to live. It's just that simple. Easy. It ain't a hard dynamic, okay? You can either go up or go down. That's up to you. It's easier to stay down it is easier not to do the right thing. It is so hard to be good. It is so hard to do the right thing. It is so hard to be on the path of taking care of yourself and having self-worth. But when you get there and then you look back and you're like, how did I ever stay there? It's like a person who used to smoke. You smell like all get out. Let's get real. You stink. I don't care what nobody say. Okay. You don't smell good. If you smoke in your house don't smell good. Okay. And everything about you is a chimney. People who don't smoke really don't want to be around you, but they probably don't say anything. They just kind of keep their distance so they don't get your secondhand and third-hand smoke. When you decide in all your infinite wisdom that's what's on that pack of that cigarettes is really for real, they ain't lying to you. They still selling it to you, but they ain't lying. They told you. They finally made them put it on the pack. Okay. And you still doing it. When you finally get it in your head that you're not going to do it anymore, and you get detox and you don't smoke, and you say, open up your door and your neighbor's out there puffing away, and that smoke hits you, you're saying, my God, how did I ever put that in my body? Did I smell like that? Was I really like this? Oh my God. It's like you are repulsed. It's the same thing when anything that you're doing that is self-destructive is no longer having a hold on you. It's very important. And then you have people who will drown in this self-pity and this depression all by themselves. They get to that point. See, that's when you're getting really, really deep and stuff, when you do it all by yourself. Sometimes you want company. Okay.
Never said good friends will tell you the truth even if it hurts.
Exactly. You may lose a friend if you tell them the truth. But you know what? If I lose you for telling you the truth, that's worth the loss. Because I'm not your friend if I let you walk out the bathroom with tissue hanging out the back of your pants and don't say anything. Okay, I'm just saying. So you want to avoid playing the fixer. That's something that's very tempting when you love someone. I'm going to fix them. I'm going to love them so hard till it's going to make them better. I'm going to put all these things in their path and they're going to see that they need to do better. And listen, at the end of the day, the person got to love themselves to want to pull them or come to the realization that they want something different or better for themselves. You could say it all day long. You could sing it from the rooftops. You know what they're hearing? Wah, 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 wah. That's what they're hearing. And they're getting resentful. And they don't care what you say. And then they find ways to always pick arguments with you and have issues with you because you don't have the issue, they do. But they don't feel strong enough to dig themselves out. So I'm going to make you feel as little as you possibly can, okay? Because in a way, like I said, the self-destructive behavior is, I don't really want you to leave me alone, but I want you to leave me alone. I want you to leave me alone, but I don't want to be alone without you. I just want you to go over there and shut up and let me continue to dig myself in this hole. Okay, that's what they want. And here you are like, oh no, I can't watch you dig yourself in this hole because I love you. But yeah, I want you to love me enough to let me dig myself in this hole. So you can't fix them. You can try. You just have to start thinking about, because if you start thinking about it and you do this for so long, and you do this for years, and you're steadily trying to find all these ways to fix this person and help this person, what you're doing is helping them continue to the behavior. That's number one. Also, you're losing your identity, because if you spend 24/7 worrying about somebody else and what they're doing to themselves, and they're not worrying about it, who's worried about you? How effective are you when you don't even know who you look in the mirror and it's like, who is that? And you will lose yourself trying to save the world. You cannot save the world. You have to be able to save you. And when you save yourself and you care for yourself, then you're better able to care for others. And sometimes caring for others means you got to let it go. And Lord knows it's the hardest thing ever. but you have to let it go. When you come to that realization that you have to let it go, it's going to be so hard for you to do. But once you can get past that point, it's going to be better for you. And it's going to be better for that person because it may be the wake-up call that they need. So, like I said, taking care of you, knowing when to take that step back. And that step back doesn't mean that you have to retreat, but just release. Hard to say when you love somebody. Hard to say when your heart is all the way in it. Hard to say or do when you really are committed to that person. But that person has to be committed to themselves because they can't fully be yours. They can't fully love you. Basically, what you have going on, you are, a sister, wife, or husband, or partner. That's what you are. Because whatever their self-destructive behavior is, that becomes their one and only. So I'm going to put it to you like this. If whatever they're doing to destroy themselves is floating in the river, and you floating there too, they may or may not come get you. You got to think about that. So you got to take care of yourself. You got to stand back. You got to balance the love you have for your partner with the care you have for yourself. You got to be just as important or even more important. You want to continue to encourage them to seek the help they need, and you be there for them and help them get it. Okay? However, you cannot do it for them. Oh my goodness, if you could, you just take their brain out and you would take it to the sink and wash it all clean, put it back in anew, tell them 3 cells to do their little thing, and everything will be everything. But that's not how it works. You have to put in the work. Like the relationship, you got to put in the work. And yes, you can repair your relationship having these dynamics, but it's going to take the both of you because one of you can't do it by yourself, just like you can't have a relationship by yourself. You can be in the presence of somebody, but if you're not connected, you really don't have one. You can fool yourself and say you do. They can fool themselves and think it is. Okay, but in reality, you don't. So that's my speech for that. What do you think? I'm gonna go over here and fry me up some apple pies. All right.
I mean, honestly, I feel like with addiction, the person has to be willing to acknowledge that they have something that they need to work on before they can move into a place where they're willing to heal with you.
And not even heal with you, but to heal themselves.
Heal with themselves, but like at least go on the journey.
Right. I'm willing to go on the journey. I'm going to get on the boat. Okay. I just need you to bring something. You got to bring a sandwich. You got to bring the motor. You got to bring a roll, something. Okay. Yeah. You got to do something. But like I said, it's so hard when, if you don't care about a person, it's a whole lot easier to maneuver those dynamics. And that's why a lot of times you need therapy yourself, trying to be the therapist or the helper or the fixer for the person who's having the issue. It's really hard. It really is hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but it feels like it's worth it. For those you care for.
You know what? It's worth it if you feel it's worth it. But I'm gonna tell you, sometimes you just have to just let it go all the way. It depends on, how difficult it is for you and how it's affecting you. Okay. Because you really have to understand, a lot of times, I always say this, it seems as though the good people move on to glory and the people who have the issues are still hanging around doing what they do, So, ooh, that was a pineapple. You got to think about that stuff, but you go back and forth, you, like I said, only when you are completed and you're done and you've tried everything. That don't mean you don't love that person, but you start putting yourself first more and more, and you just kind of start, distancing yourself to the point where you're going to feel the pain. Oh yeah. I ain't going to tell you it's going to ever stop. But it's not going to ever be as bad as the pain as watching somebody you love destroy themselves, and they just don't get it. They just don't get it. All right, let's go over here and do some sweet stuff. How about that? So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put this. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so yeah. Oh, child, let me tell you. You know, I talked all this, and you know this thing is on low, and it must be really low because it didn't get hot. I forgot it was on.
I'm not sure what Deb was referring to, but she said, "How long do you wait?"
Okay, I'm telling you like this. That is totally up to the individual. Some people can wait a week. Some people can wait a month. Some people can wait 40 something years, 50, 60. Some people wait forever and it doesn't change. It all depends on your tolerance, how invested you are in the person, in the relationship. Some people can deal with the mental pain, okay, because it is something. You're gonna sit up and tell that lie. If you don't love somebody and you see them destroying themselves, and it destroys your relationship. You don't have that connection. You don't have that intimacy. You don't have any. You just got a body there. Hey, you can buy a chair for that. You know what I'm saying? You pretty much got a piece of furniture that is going off and doing whatever they want, whenever they want, and you're just there worrying and you know, financially you could be being affected. It's just so many things. So I'm not gonna tell you, oh, there's not a finite amount of time that you wait. It's about how much you can deal with or want to. Okay? This, when I tell you, you put this on low, y'all. Low means I could sit here probably for an hour and talk to you and it don't get. So let me bring this on 5 because we want to be able to cook these puppies.
Get that thing fried up.
Exactly. Oh, they're real anxious, you know, because they want to eat it.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, so
Hold on. So Deborah said, "Well, wouldn't that be wasting time in your life?"
well, if that's your perspective, because you don't know what you never know what the new day is going to bring. The person may hit rock bottom while they're there and you're supporting them and you can walk that journey together. The person may not, and you just gonna have to learn how to stand back and do your own thing and go your way. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, this is perspective, Deb. It's not about this is or this isn't. Okay, you can talk all the psychiatrists you want. It's about your perspective, because I keep telling you, it's in your head. It's in your heart. But this is what keeps you there. How long can these brain cells stand the whatever's going on? It's up to you, your wherewithal. And yes, it may have been a waste of time, but so goes any relationship, and there's no guarantees. There's no guarantee you're going to be with somebody forever. There's no guarantee this person's going to be who they say they were. It's no guarantees in this life. You have to take each increment of your life and live it for that moment in time, and deal with that for that moment in time, because ain't nothing promised. Let me check this. Okay, let me get my little water thing. Because like I said in my other show, I found a new way.
Test the water.
Yeah, for you guys to test the water. I ain't scared. I'll do the whole. Okay. So let me test my water because I know it's not ready yet. I got to put some oil in here. Okay, it's not ready yet because it was sitting over here just maxing and relaxing and sitting by the dock of the bay as I was talking to you. But like I said, again, the same thing with anything you do. You just got to really got to get to the point, like the prayer of serenity. Okay, you have to accept the things you cannot change and have the wisdom to know the difference. Most of us don't. Most of us are kind of walking to the wall for a while till we get them 2 or 3 concussions, and then maybe we wake up. I mean, hey. All right, so let's see. Okay. Okay, come on. The pan wants to be turned up higher. Okay, that's the pan just told me. It whispered it to me. You couldn't hear it. Okay, see, as soon as I turned it up to 7, it started to sizzle. So it's warm enough. I want to get my oil in it, and so I want to put enough oil in it to kind of cover both sides. because of the way that it's shaped, you know, because it has that little hump. So I want to make sure that I can get both sides. So I'm going to put about half a pan of this oil in here. This is a 12-inch skillet. And I'll have enough because it fries pretty clear. So because I'm frying up another batch or two, the oil won't go to waste and it'll still be clean. So we'll see. I'm letting that heat up. And now I got to get something to flip this thing with. So let me get the oil and put it back. And I'll get my handy dandy spatula. All right. So, where are you? Are you in here? No, I'm sure you are. Yeah. Okay, I got that one. Oh, and my handy dandy fork, because guess what? It never flips the way I want it to. Listen, okay, take that apart. All right, let's get this over here. And I'll wipe that off. Put this here. Here, let's test the waters. Not still doing it. The oil has to heat up now. Because you don't want to put it in too soon. And then it gets oil logged, like water logged, just kind of sits there. You want to start doing this thing. So let me take this out. There they go. And they're so nice. They're so perfect. I'm scared to even fry these things, child. I'm telling you, I'm scared to fry them because they're so pretty. And if I jack them up on national TV.
I think that'd be great.
Okay. Okay, I'm hearing a sizzle. Okay, it's coming up. Not yet. Okay, get that in there. All right, we're going to get us some bowls, too. I'll get the bowls ready, guys. Oh, they're over there laughing and happy. Okay. I'll get the bowls ready. Sit them out here, just like that. All right. Let's try it again. Still not dancing fast enough for me.
Do you want your oil to have more of a rapid boil?
I don't want it to be rapid boil, but I want, when it's not hot enough, you hear pink, 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 or pop, pop, pop. When it's hot enough, you hear pop, 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 pop. Right. So that's what I want to hear. Pop, 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 pop.
Oh, and Lois is here. She said, "Hi, Casey, beautiful assistant, family, friends. I just got back and stopped in to say hit the like button and comment."
Okay.
Aubrey wants the pie sounds delicious, and can I do the same with peaches?
Yes, you can. But I would use fresh peaches and not canned because you want to keep them as dry as possible. You can use peaches, you can use blackberries, you can use strawberries if you want. Blueberries, yes, you can. Okay, I think we are about ready. Okay. Do a little dance, make a little love. All right, let's see. We're going to try one and see what happens. I'm going to sacrifice one of them. Let's see. And I'm going to put them in face down. Okay, got that one in here. Let's see what you're going to do. See, it's still not hot enough for me. I'm going to let it get a little hotter before I put the other one. See, I sacrificed that one. Now I'm just going to have to watch that one really well because it'll be browned. I'll take before the rest of them. I'm going to take you up to 8. I'm going to take it up to 8 because I'm losing my patience. Okay, they're going a little faster. And see, I'm looking at his brother. It's just kind of like, okay. It's talking a lot of trash, but ain't showing me no action. And what you don't want to do, y'all, is crowd your pan. That's the last thing you want to do. Let me get another one. I think I can put another one in here. Yeah, I'm gonna put a couple more. They think they're about ready to go in. And I'm putting them the belly side down. Do that side first. And I think I probably could have used a little bit more oil. Let me see. I got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I could put one more. Do 7. Can I do 8? Let's see. I think I can do 8. Okay. Okay, got that like that. Okay, you probably want to order some food. Okay. Let me get this over here. All right, so I'm going to be very mindful. I need to get, okay, that looks good. Let me turn it down because I don't want to mess it up. I need to get, I'm going to take this off of here and just have the parchment paper there because I want to use this to put them on so I can drain them. And I'll just put a piece of foil on there and some paper towels. Just like that. Just like this. Let me take that. Get a little paper towel on there. I'll do 2. Put them on there. Let's see what we get. Okay, I'll have this prepared over here. Let me put this water in there. And let me look at the first one and see if it browned any. Now I guess I'll put it back up to 8 because it seems to be slowing up the process. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, it's lightly brown, so that's good. It smells really good. Let's see. And they're fluffing up. So they're fluffing up and they're rising to the occasion. And so far, so good. They have stayed closed. I don't see anybody popping open and saying hello to me. So that, yes?
Lois had a good question. She had said, what's the best reasonably priced type of skillet and pot that you would suggest for all cooking? She wants to declutter. And also, your hair is wiping. In other words, it's so sharp and healthy looking.
Oh, thank you. It's all about the dye, I tell you. No, I'm telling you, I refuse to process my hair, at least for a while, because I do like a straight style. But I'm going back to the day, if I want it straight, then I'll just use my electric straightening comb and do that. And pray that my hair doesn't sweat it out. How about that? But anyway, I am partial. I am going to tell you, if you want to get some pots or whatever that's going to last you a while, and for you, Lois, it'll last forever because you don't want to cook. Okay, try these snow clad. You can try them one at a time, and you can get a whole set. They're very sturdy. They work well, but you have to be very careful with the heat. If you're afraid that you won't be able to control the heat, I would suggest the Ninja. I'm gonna tell you, these pots, my first pots here. Let me turn this over. Oh, that's too black. Okay. Oh boy, that was about to pop. I got one over here that's acting like a blowfish, y'all. I don't know why you're doing that. Yeah, he don't look too great. He said, "Oh no, he is. I don't know about this one. This is weird." No, he just acted crazy. He's a little strange. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't know about that one. We're gonna have to put that in the G file. That look kind of funny, y'all. I ain't like the way that one looked. Huh?
That's a G file him on my feet.
No, G file no. Did that, yeah. I don't like the way that looked.
They have to look nice.
Oh, yeah, they do have to look nice. Are you kidding? See, these have more filling than the ones yesterday. So they acting kind of weird. Coupled with the fact I just used this vegan pastry, and that may be too, because it's a little bit more fluffy. Maybe I should put less apple. What you say?
They look like little apple pie, like little actual pies.
I don't know what this honey, like I said, this one over here acted like it got crazy. It went to fluffing up, and yeah. Let me get that one. Let's grab you. Come on. And you over here, you got to go bye-bye, because I don't like the way you look. You all dilapidated. Okay, so I'm going to put the other one in here. I'm going to turn this down from 8. Because see, now it finally got hot, so. Okay. Put them in. It's really big. I think I put a lot extra. I should have put a little less filling because these are pretty big. Well, you know, they like it like that. I want mine to be a little bit flatter, but it's a lot of filling in this. And this dough is very fluffy. It's fluffing up already. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this one here, I don't know about that one. That one's looking like an alien, y'all. I don't like that one. Okay, so I'm going to let, these are really fluffed up. You want to try one?
Yes.
I ain't have to say that twice, did I?
Nope. I was just waiting for you to tell me.
Okay, I got to watch these. I look dark. Yeah, so this filling right here. See, this one had a lot of filling and it really fluffed up.
Yeah.
So let me throw this out.
Kind of hot though. Well, you got a nice little crunch to it.
Yeah, I got a nice crunch to it. So this particular dough, let me see. I'll be careful with this dough because it's browning really quickly. Okay, so just like that, brown. That was like a minute and a half. Oh, look at it, look at it. It looks like a puffer fish. Oh, wow. Note to self, don't use the vegan dough. Don't use this thing is floating around. If the vegan dough is very, very pliable, it kind of just, wow.
It's fine, but it tastes great. It tastes just like a little mini apple pie.
Okay, I'm trying to flatten it down, but they floating around. Wow. Okay, let me take this down some more. These things is doing their thing. Wow.
I taste that zing of that lemon. And the nutmeg, everything works really well together. It tastes just like a little mini apple pie.
Okay. Well, it didn't take but a minute, y'all. Okay. All righty. Get that over here. Come on, puffer fish. Little puffer fish over here. These are much bigger than the ones I did yesterday. I did them with that other dough. And that dough was hard to work with. But that dough was a little flatter. These things are like little air puffs. Like puff. This is working like a puff pastry. That's what it's doing. That's exactly like, I don't know if you ever had puff pastry before, but this is acting like puff pastry. Ooh. Okay, let me get that over here. All right now. So they're hot. I'm gonna bring this over here. Let's turn this off. I wasn't expecting them to be this thick, but they really, you see these? Look at that. What you think? They look cute. I'm gonna cover them up for a minute so they can rest. And then I'm gonna spoon up that ice cream that I got in there and sprinkle some. I'm gonna sprinkle some cinnamon on these. Okay. Put that back here. Put a top on it. Now I'm gonna take these over here, put a little bit of foil on them after I put the cinnamon. Wow. I wasn't expecting them to puff up like that. I do have quite a bit of apple filling in these, which I didn't put as much because these are more pliable. So it's easier to do. You know, but like I said, you can experiment with your pastries. I like this pastry because I know that it's a little more healthier and it was easier for me to manipulate.
Right.
And, or if you want to get froggy, y'all, you can make your pastry from scratch. I probably will do that at some point. I'm just not feeling that now. Okay. Okay. So let me wipe this down. I'll spoon up some ice cream after I sprinkle some of this nice cinnamon on here.
Lois said make some room for her up in there.
Come on down. Okay. Get that all. They smell so good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, the pies my mother used to make were much bigger, and she would use dried apples. Okay, so that's the difference. Like I said, the twist is the lemon extract and using this already done dough, which makes it simple. Simpler for me. This is. Okay, and simpler for you too. Okay, so let me put the foil on here. I'm going to spoon up the ice cream. And then they can eat it.
Yahoo!
Put the foil on here, let that rest. Okay, keep it warm. I'm trying to just let it rest a little, keep it warm while I spoon up the ice cream. Because it's nothing like warm apple pies and ice cream.
Yes.
Okay, so we put that on here, just like that. Let me get my ice cream scooper, get my ice cream out of here. Now, if you want to be healthier, you can use some yogurt, vanilla yogurt, or that sugar-free ice cream or whatever. Okay, we ain't doing all that tonight. Okay, we're gonna use us some nice little Turkey Hill homemade vanilla. Or my blender can make ice cream, so maybe one day I'll actually make some homemade ice cream and do it like that too. Oh, I'm just thinking all these advantageous things, y'all. Okay. Scooper, ice cream scooper. Is that in the dishwasher?
Just withdrawing.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Did I turn it on?
It won't come on with 2 seconds. You're gonna hit.
That go to show y'all I don't use a dishwasher because I don't even know how to work my own dishwasher. Mm-hmm. Literally, I never, ever, ever use it. I couldn't tell you how to turn it on. If it needs to be turned off, I don't know how because I never use it. I think it's a waste of time using a dishwasher when you have 2 hands. Mm-hmm. Of course, people beg to differ with me.
I mean, it's all for the habit available. So
okay, so no, I just don't like giving utility companies my money when I don't have to for extra stuff. That's just me. Okay, this ice cream is really frozen. Wow, I can't hard to get it out of here. Okay.
Yeah.
You can call your father.
I can.
Okay. 3 of these little scoops.
Okay.
Okay. Just trying to. Wow, I should let this sit out for a minute. This is my freezer doing that thing. Wow. Oh yeah, because it's hard to get this ice cream out of here. And I'm not. Okay. That. Well, one good thing, y'all, it won't melt before I get the other stuff. Because man, oh man, the chef, this thing so hard, it look like it's bending the spoon. I'm getting a muscle doing this. Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to taste one of the little pies. I don't want all this ice cream and stuff right now. I have to be in a mood for sweets. And I'm not in a mood right now. But that doesn't stop the rest of them. Does it?
Absolutely not.
Uh-huh. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit there. Just like that. A beautiful assistant. This stuff is hard. Note to self. Next time.
I heard. Oh.
Okay, get that over here. See, this is right up my husband's alley. Sugar, that's his thing.
Hey.
Okay, so he may not eat no food, but he gonna eat the sugar. Yes, he will. Okay, so all right. So I'm gonna let this ice cream sit over here because perhaps I'll get a spoonful, but it's so hard until you're gonna have to cut it with a knife. All right, so let's get this here. Right, let's see what our little pastries are looking like. I hope they deflated some.
Even if they don't, they're delicious.
But they are bursting with cinnamon.
Oh yeah.
They smell really cinnamon. Yeah, that thing. Okay, we'll get that. And we'll give you one of them. Just like that. And they all look cute. So we'll give everybody a little 3. That's all you're getting. Y'all had y'all fill yesterday.
You know, I got something left over or whatever.
What else?
Somebody don't need a little extra.
Where's your father? Where'd you
Right
go?
here.
Okay.
I'm right here, honey.
Okay. So we got this. Like that. And one of those. And we give you one of these. But I'm not done yet.
What?
Okay, we gave you all of this. But yes, there's more.
Oh my God.
So, you know I gotta make it pretty, y'all. Okay. So I'm gonna take some of these apples that I had over here. And I'm gonna give y'all a little couple of these apples, kind of like put it over here on, just kind of put it over here on top of your ice cream. Because
Oh man.
I don't want it to go to waste.
Whoa.
And I'm not gonna tell you I'm gonna sit up here and make more of these tonight. So I'm not gonna tell those fibs. Now, the beautiful sister wanna roll a couple of them.
Anticipation.
See, you ain't never heard him sing like that, right? Okay, the sugar, it's the sugar that does it, I'm telling you. It's the sugar.
Making me wait.
I sure am. Okay, get that in there. In here. You're gonna love it.
Oh, man.
Because everybody's so what? Creative. Okay.
Boy, we won't need dinner.
Okay. Let me tell these people you ain't eat your dinner before you eat dessert. Well, you be giving all the tea. Telling everything. Now, see, usually, y'all, I'm cooking dinner now, but I decided to go dessert. Okay, that's what I decided to do.
But it looks delicious.
There you go. Come get it, beautiful assistant and Corey.
Yeah.
Boy, this choice drink for tonight, is that pina colada?
That is pina colada, healthy style.
Yeah, pina colada.
Okay.
You might want another one.
We got any Trump 5.0?
What?
Y'all need to stop. Okay, please. Don't be messing up my life. Here.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I'll
darling.
get you. Oh, wait, nobody's showing them what we got. They all listen. Here, y'all. Okay, do you see?
Wow.
Okay, this is the finished product, y'all. What do you think? They all over there eating it, forgot all about my people. Okay, let me know if you like what you see. I guess you can see it.
That
Yeah.
was lovely.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Wow.
Okie dokie.
Thank you, darling.
There you go. I'm going to taste one. I'm going to taste.
That looks great.
Yes, and it smells delicious. And
It
the good
does.
thing is you don't have to feel guilty because it's not a big giant pie. It is low
Just the
carb,
taste.
except for the ice cream. You can fix that because I ain't eating none.
Mm,
Okay. And
that's good.
every now and then, if you want to indulge, then do it.
I love these puff pastries, honey. That new?
Yeah, this is, I guess what they are for real. They are, and I guess you could get some phyllo dough or whatever. I wasn't even thinking about that. I could have got some phyllo dough, but I like this. 'Cause
And light.
this is cheap. These are egg roll wrappers.
What?
Yes.
Delicious. Very delicious. This tastes
Okay.
just like a little pie.
You wouldn't
Okay,
even
say
know.
what you feel, because Corey's over there just licking stuff.
Mm,
I tell you.
Every seasoning, you taste every bite.
mm,
It tastes just like you baked a pie from scratch for hours
yeah.
in the bite, in every bite. And then it has just that slightest little crunch, almost
See,
like a little
look at
chip.
that. You see the inside of that?
It's a really fun snack.
Mm.
This is a fun snack.
And I'm not eating it with ice cream. I could eat just like this. I could have this with a piece of coffee. A cup, a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
No
I
doubt.
could. These are pretty good.
Pretty nice little breakfast,
Oh, good. These are good. These are good. Really
Mm.
nice. So there you have it, y'all.
Mm.
You got this. You got the sweet, and you got the bittersweet. This is delicious. This requires patience and time. Yes, it does. But the end result is worth it. Okay. Like I was saying to Deb, okay, it's all about you, your patience level, how deeply involved you are or want to be. You know, the time limit is up to you when you are dealing with a partner that has that type of destructive behavior. But there's always hope. It's in your hands. Really, it is. And in that person's hands. Anywho, let me take another bite of this.
Anywho?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You just need to eat. Okay.
Ah.
Don't be the peanut gallery. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, this is so good. It really is good. Okay. I'm not eating any ice cream. I already ate my dinner. Yes, we didn't eat dinner yet. Okay. But if you like this live, you know what you gotta do. I need for y'all to tell me. Tell me. Just hit the like button. It don't hurt. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. It's free to hit the like button. Okay. If you are new and you're just coming in, or if you're watching the rewatch, subscribe, and subscribe. Okay. For all of you who are already subscribed, I want you to hit that notification bell or turn it on so you know when I'm always coming at you. And what else I need you to do? Oh, share this. Leave a comment. Let me know how you feel. Okay. If you have an idea, a topic you want to talk about, a recipe you want to do, hey, I'm there. I can give it a shot. I don't know what the outcome going to be, but hey, I'll give it a shot. In any case, I wish you guys the very best relationships that you possibly can have, either with a partner or just with yourself, growing yourself to the place where you can have a successful relationship if that's what you want. I also wish you guys love, peace, and I want you to find your rhythm and dance.
Hey.
I'm going to see y'all next week. Maybe. Oh, I may not because it's my son's birthday, so we may be going bowling. So I'll let y'all know. Check the community page and you'll see whether I'll be here next week or the one after. In any case, love you much. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, see, they so full of sugar, they can't even talk. You see how dry that bye-bye was? I'll say bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.